Okay, Liana, now that we have officially been traveling for 1 month, I want to know what has been your favorite part about traveling?
Seeing my family every single day. Like before we did that, I only saw you like once a week, and then I could only see Daddy for a few hours every day.
But now you're getting a lot more time with your parents. and your family.
24/7.
Yeah, you like that. Okay, and what's been the hardest part about traveling?
Leaving that family and friends that you grew up with.
Yeah, like your cousins and your bestie and all the people that you left behind. You've been missing them?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's been your very favorite place that we've visited so far?
Big Bend.
Big Bend National Park? Okay, what'd you like about Big Bend?
Like there was a lot of stuff to do there. Like you can go on a bunch of trails, and I like the one that we went on, like to hike up that mountain thingy.
Yeah.
And it was like at the borderline of Mexico. Like
It was, yeah.
across the river.
You could literally see Mexico right across the river, huh?
And
Okay.
it was a very small river.
And you saw something extra special there to you, right?
Mama and a baby wild horse.
Mama and baby wild horse that were right there.
The baby couldn't get up.
Yeah, we were worried about the baby, but we called the rangers, right?
Yeah, but they said they're not even supposed to be here.
All right. So what do you think so far about being on the road? Are you glad that we're doing this? What is your overall thought about being a traveling family right now?
I think it's really nice that we're like exploring the world. But I just wish like all my friends and family can like we can be like little buddy travelers.
Yeah, we could caravan with everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Juliet, now that we have officially been traveling for 1 month, I want to know what has been your favorite part about traveling.
The national parks.
Okay, that's a good one. And what's been the hardest part about traveling?
My sisters.
Ooh, what's been hard about your sisters?
They fight a lot. They yell at me, and they kind of make me feel sad sometimes.
Okay. And what's been your very favorite place that we have visited so far?
White sands.
Ooh, yeah. Why did you like White Sands?
We could go sledding on the white sand.
Yeah, we slid on the white sand. That was pretty cool. Okay, and what do you think about being a traveling family? Like, is it something that you're glad we're doing? What do you think about being a traveling family?
It's okay. I mean, I like it because it's really fun and we visit a lot of places and see a lot of family members that we haven't seen in a long time. But at the same time, I kind of miss having a home that we can just keep it still.
Keep it still. All right, that's fair. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, hi Liza.
Hi.
Now that we have been officially traveling for 1 month, I want to know what has been your favorite part about being on the road.
My favorite part was seeing the national park.
Seeing the national parks? Okay. And what's been the hardest part about being on the road?
Leaving our friends, leaving our family.
That has been hard. And of all the places we visited, what's been your favorite place so far that we've visited?
My favorite place was the white snow.
The White Sands National Park? Yeah, what did you like about that?
That it was a really fun place and that you could go sledding there.
Yeah, you went sledding and you liked that, huh? That was super fun. You even asked to go back another time, huh? Yeah, okay. And what do you think overall about being a family that's traveling on the road? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you excited about it? Do you think it's a little bit good, a little bit bad? How do you feel about it?
I'm excited.
You're excited about it? Okay, great. Thanks, kiddo.
Bye.
Hi, Annabelle. Okay, so now that we've been traveling for a month, I want to know what's been your favorite part about being on the road?
Probably the parks.
The parks. Okay, great. And what's been the hardest part about being on the road?
Not seeing our grandma and grandpa.
Oh, you miss Nana and Papa? Yeah, okay. And of all the places that we have visited, what's been your favorite place?
Texas.
Texas? What do you like about Texas?
It is going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, that you spent your birthday here, so that made it your favorite.
And Great Wolf Lodge.
We are going to Great Wolf Lodge tomorrow. Okay. And I want to know, overall, what do you think about being a traveling family? Do you think it's great? Do you think it's a little bit good or a little bit bad? What do you think about being a family that lives on the road?
What did you say?
What do you think about being a family that lives on the road?
I don't understand.
Do you like traveling and living in an RV?
Yes.
You like it?
Yeah.
So overall, you like being a full-time family?
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Am I done?
Here's a quick map of the route we've taken so far. We've visited 5 states total, 4 outlined on the map, and we popped up into Oklahoma.
Hi, everybody. So we have officially been on the road for 1 month today. Is our 1 month roadiversary. And so we thought it would be fun to check in with each of the members of our family to see how everybody's feeling about being on the road. And so I just asked the kids some basic questions, and we thought we should go ahead and answer them as well to see how we feel about being on the road so far. So the first question I asked the kids was, what has been our favorite part of traveling so far? So why don't you go ahead?
I would say probably spending time with family, number 1, followed by seeing a lot of the country that I haven't seen before. So, I constantly like looking at everything as I'm going down the road, kind of wishing I wasn't driving, just so I could see things and take pictures of things. And but yeah, I would say just enjoying the traveling experience with the family and seeing things I haven't seen before. And you?
For me, I think the really transformative thing about this trip so far has been time. I have worked full-time, since long before I was an adult, and including the time since having children, worked full-time outside of the home. And so I have never had the experience of being with my kids and my husband 24/7. And it's been great and terrifying and, frustrating at times, but that really is why we did this trip, is to have that time. And even, when I was asking the girls about their favorite thing, our oldest, Liana, said, before we did this, I only saw you 1 day a week, speaking to me. And of course that's not true. She obviously saw me for the most part every day, but just small snippets because I did work so much. And so, just hearing that from her ears even reinforced that to me, of how important this trip is for every single member of our family. But that time with each other, that time with our kids has been so great. And I think, really over this month, this journey has already been what we had hoped it would be, which is, really connecting with each other, exploring different parts of the country. And, as we're stopping at each place, we're like, man, there is so much to see and do in every single location that we're stopping at. It's overwhelming. Like we could not even scratch the surface of all the amazing things to see. And so, really kind of picking through and deciding what is interesting for our family and what would be, something that we would appreciate and enjoy has also been another fun part of it. But yeah, I think just the whole reason for this whole trip was time together. And that's been great. Yeah. And then the next thing I asked the girls was, what's been the hardest part about traveling so far?
Where to start? So obviously there's some adjustments that have to be made. From everyday living to traveling, everything. There's so much I think that kind of goes into it. We've had some interesting experiences so far. We've had the RV has broke a few times. We've had a lot of little stuff.
The whole RV hasn't broken,
well,
but just little things have.
Yeah, just it's a house on wheels that's bouncing around going down the highway, and I'm not mechanically inclined, and unfortunately I couldn't pack Bobby up in a suitcase and throw him in the basement, otherwise I would have. That's my brother, by the way, so he could pop out and fix them and put it back in. And then we've had the craziest weather since we left California. Arizona actually wasn't bad, and then once we kind of crossed over into New Mexico, it's where it started, and it's just been anywhere between 15 and 34 degrees almost every night. So
and day. I mean, even in the daytime, the temperatures have been in the freezing for a majority of our trip now.
Yeah, so we've learned some lessons, and that includes breaking down the hoses or having heated hoses.
Freezing
as
pipes.
Everything's freezing, and we're like, great, we have no water, we have no way to flush toilets, here we go, here's our lifestyle.
Yeah, it's trial by fire or trial by ice in this situation, I guess. But
Absolutely.
We're learning a lot as we're going through this, for sure. I think for me, there hasn't been one specific thing that's been hardest, but certainly being in the actual RV has actually been easier than I expected, with the exception of the kitchen space. There's not a lot of counter space. We're used to this massive kitchen that we designed in our last house with counter space galore. And so prepping meals and, trying to even do dishes and, there's just, it's challenging to try to find the space to do all of those things. And travel days are stressful. And so, trying to keep the kids entertained during the time in the vehicle, when we're driving, just making sure we're trying to kind of get these checklists together. Like, okay, we've got their waters, we've got snacks, we've got, some coloring books or something to do in the car, things so that we kind of have a little kit together and we're not struggling every single time we drive to put together all of those things. And another thing that's been new for all of us is the homeschooling aspect of it. We didn't homeschool before, and so that has been a big learning curve for all of us. Figuring out their schedules, how much time do we need to be spending each day on schooling, what all do we need to be covering to make sure that they're not missing any big gaps in their education.
Or ours, by the way. I'm not sure if you've seen that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fourth Grader? But
we failed. We failed on that one.
We're having to circle back on a few subjects, get caught up. But it's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
That has been really, really interesting. I mean, it's just skills that we haven't used, like long division. Juliet's in 4th grade, and so they're doing all this long division, and holy moly, it is.
Show your work. The calculator doesn't tell me. Like, what am I supposed to put there?
So it's been fun kind of learning along with the kids with some of the stuff too, of just refreshing our memories and deciding what we want to focus on for the stuff that they're learning and their schoolwork. It's all been quite an adventure. But honestly, much less negative experiences than I had expected for the first month.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it went well so far.
Yeah. And another thing I asked the girls was what has been their favorite place that we've visited so far. For me, I think Carlsbad Caverns National Park was absolutely mind-boggling. Just, it felt otherworldly. Like, it did not feel like something that was real for the place that we live. It seemed like we were in the set of a movie, like it had been built and created by man, and just learning about how it was all created and how it was formed, and actually being able to see it inches away from your face. It's more than my brain could comprehend. And Perry and I have said we're like making our list of places that we need to visit again when the kids have left the nest, so that we can just truly absorb it all. Because as we're exploring all these places, of course, we've got 4 kids with us that don't necessarily want to walk 3 miles and spend 5 hours exploring underground caves, where we're like, oh my gosh, let's come back and do like a nighttime lantern tour, and let's sit and talk to the rangers for an hour and find out all this stuff. So, there's that balance too of our interests versus keeping them entertained and keeping them excited and interested in all of these things too.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's been your favorite place?
It's hard. Like, I have favorites at each particular place. You know, Arizona to me, I mean, we got to spend time with family. That was good. Other than that, there wasn't a lot of exciting stuff down south, other than Double R Ranch, which if you haven't seen that video, check that one out. We love that.
We are going to circle back to Arizona though, because we only did the southern part.
Yeah.
So we are going to come back to like Grand Canyon and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we haven't given Arizona its fair shake yet.
Sure. Yeah, but Double R Ranch, phenomenal. I mean, it has a special place in our heart. New Mexico, you know, there was Roswell up there, and I took the girls up and started looking for the aliens. I mean, I love that paranormal stuff, and I want to be scared, but yeah. The Carlsbad Caverns, I mean, you have to give a special nod to that. I mean, I've never seen or experienced anything like that in my life. There's so much to take in that it's I agree. I mean, it has to be done, I think, without the kids, a whole day, and just take your time. But otherwise, I mean, other than that particular place, I don't know. I'm not sure I have a favorite, because we've got spoiled the last few times we're staying at facilities that have lakes attached to them.
That's true. You actually like the RV parks more than the stuff we're exploring outside of the RV parks. Just,
I mean, I love fishing and being outdoors, so then I'm taking the girls and going fishing, trying to catch them, but apparently when it's cold outside, the fish don't like to bite either. So
we've had some luck though.
Yeah, we found a small county park, and we were able to catch a few. But yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one, I would say the caverns, just because of that.
Just
that experience, and now every time I see a mountain, I'm like, is there a cave in there?
I know, yeah. I think another thing for me that has been a highlight of this has been working remotely. You know, I'm still able to use my degree. I'm still able to use my brain, and feel functional in that way. But have that balance, that work-life balance, that elusive work-life balance that I've always wanted, where I'm having this time to work, and yet I'm having the time to spend with my family. And so that has been such a cool thing to transition into for me, from being in the clinic and in the operating room so many hours per week to now stepping back, utilizing my skills in a different way, but still feeling really valuable, and having another way to practice medicine has been really, really cool.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, what are some things that we might change as we move into the next month, or things that we've learned that we want to, like, implement moving forward?
I would think we have a few dates that are kind of scheduled out throughout the year, which has been causing some frustration on my side, because some of these places, again, we pull in, we got 2 nights or 3 nights, or some are 7 nights, and you want to stay longer. There's so much to see, so much to do, but if we don't keep moving, we won't hit the target of being in Florida when we need to be there, or wherever else we need to go by those certain dates. So
that's actually been a hard part of it too, is that unfortunately we have to schedule out so many weeks or months in advance, to know that we have a next place to stay with our RV. It's not, I mean, I think you potentially could just, like, drive into somewhere and find a place to stay with your RV, but because we've got kids and because we want to have full hookups, and there's a lot of things, we got a very, very large RV, so you can't just stay anywhere, and so we have to plan that out. And so we're in these, like, very rigid timelines, and so when we end up being in a place where, like, oh my gosh, this is incredible, I would love to spend an extra week here.
That happened at Big Bend National Park.
Big Bend, that's a perfect example.
If Carlsbad Caverns wasn't on the list, it would be Big Bend. It's
for
one
your
of those,
favorite,
yeah,
for your favorite place. Yeah, I agree.
Just because, like, it's one of those, you look up Google and say how many days you spend. It says a couple. We spent 1 day in there. We saw 1/3. Think of the park as having 3 legs,
like 3 branches. Yeah.
And we spent on one of them, and we could have spent a week there.
Yeah,
I mean, there was so many hikes, so many things to do, and we just kind of had to take our pick and just knock out as much as we could. And unfortunately, like, we've talked a lot about going back and and obviously Liana, I believe, mentioned that in her
Her little
interview, yeah, which you guys will see. You know, it was amazing. So, and maybe we'll throw a couple pictures up too, so you can see what she was referring to. But
oh, I know what else I asked them. Just overall, what's their feeling about being a traveling family or being a family on the road? And overall, for me, it has been exactly what I had hoped that it would be. And I am already, you know, knowing that I'll miss this time when we're done.
Sure. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think it's hard. I mean, there's still things that I miss about kind of being stationary, especially with the family aspect of it. And, you know, I mean, I wish everybody would just get an RV and come with us. You know, that would be best. But
obviously, that's what everybody should do.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a learning experience. I think we have enjoyed it so far. I could see us doing this long term. I mean, I don't know, Bobby. Maybe I'm not coming back, so I guess we'll see. No, I was kidding.
We'll see.
We'll go until we're tired, and then we'll find that perfect place and get a ranch. And then lots of cowboy hats. You guys get ready.
Lots of cows, lots of horses for those kids of ours that every time. I mean, this trip has almost become how many horses can we find on the road and in the parks. Yep. That's like the main goal, is finding wild horses or people who have, you know, barns and horses on their property, and that is one of the highlights for the kids for sure.
Well, Steph wanted to find waterfalls, so we found her one.
Yes. So one of my goals for the trip is to see how many to chase waterfalls. I want to be chasing waterfalls and finding all the waterfalls. We've only seen one so far, but again, we've had this like super rigid timeline, so hopefully we can relax a little bit more after the beginning of March and be able to explore some more stuff. But
that's probably it, huh?
That's it.
We'll see you.